Manchester United is going through big changes. The Old Trafford club, now managed by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, are looking to end their bad habits and return to the top of English football. Signings are needed, especially since this summer's locker room purge could leave the team in disarray. However, real quality must be obtained because some tasks require serious work. Among the names linked with a possible move to Old Trafford this summer is Michael Olise. The Crystal Palace man could leave Selhurst Park this summer after an incredible campaign. According to Football Transfers, United are said to be in the lead to secure the 22-year-old winger's signature. Olise, described as an outstanding performer in the Premier League this season, especially to end the campaign with 7 goals in his last 6 games. Newcastle United are said to have put the player at the top of their wish list, although their plans have been scrapped as Alinan favours a move to Old Trafford. Alinan is said to be a boyhood United fan, while his current contract has a release clause of around £60 million. United are of course looking to improve the right side of their attack with Jadon Sancho no longer a factor and Antony simply not good enough. Olise would add real quality to this area of the pitch, provided a deal is reached. It would be a truly spectacular thing if United could somehow pull it off. Yes, it would be a big part of the summer budget, but Olise is the kind of player you can build a team around. Manchester United will finally decide in the coming days whether they will keep or fire their manager Erik ten Hag. On Friday there was a well-sourced report in the English media that United had already made the decision to dispense with ten Hag after 2 years at the club. However, on Saturday the Dutchman guided United to a highly impressive 2-1 win over Manchester City to lift the FA Cup at Wembley Stadium and qualify for next season's Europa League. The victory also represented ten Hag's second trophy at Old Trafford in 2 years and has possibly given the United hierarchy some pause for thought before they make such a momentous decision. United's dreadful end to their Premier League season, which saw them finish in 8th place, their lowest ever placing in the 32-year history of the competition, has inevitably made ten Hag vulnerable. United's new co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who took a 27.7% stake in the club in February this year, has never offered ten Hag any public reassurance that he would remain as the club's manager next season. After United's FA Cup win, Ratcliffe released a statement in which he failed to specifically mention ten Hag, and instead praised the staff who worked tirelessly to support their team. In Wembley's mixed zone area when Ratcliffe was spotted walking towards United's dressing room after the game, he was asked whether ten Hag was staying. He briefly paused, but decided not to answer the question. It is understood in recent weeks United have begun to explore replacing ten Hag and speaking to other candidates. The names on their list of possible new managers include their former coach and current Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna, the recently departed Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino, last season's Bayern Munich manager Thomas Tuchel and Brentford's Thomas Frank, the England manager Gareth Southgate and the former Brighton and Chelsea manager Graham Potter. Because of their previous relationships with United's incoming sporting director Dan Ashworth, have also been under consideration. United want a coach who will be more of a cog in their new structure, who is more amenable to their ideas, and able to work with Ashworth, as well as their new technical director Jason Wilcox and incoming chief executive Omar Berrada. It is expected it will now be next week when they announce whether that will be ten Hag or a new appointment. Following Manchester United's 2-1 win over Manchester City in the FA Cup final, there are players who will now likely never pull on the red jersey again. Erik ten Hag pulled off an unlikely triumph amid reports he will be sacked despite lifting the famous trophy. It seems like a new dawn for United after the win, with major renovation needed at their Old Trafford ground, and a serious revamp expected in the squad. Here are some of the players who look to have played their last game for the Red Devils. Rafael Varane, the Real Madrid legend, signed for United in August 2021, and there was huge hype around the defender, who was considered one of the best in his position in the world, and only 28 years old at the time. A hugely decorated player in Spain, Varane's time in the red jersey has fallen short of expectations, but it would be harsh to say the Rolls-Royce centre-half didn't deliver. He just didn't quite hit the heights that fans expected. Much of that was down to injury. The Frenchman initially signed with the club in a £34 million deal, but United confirmed recently that the 31-year-old would be leaving at the end of the season when his current contract expires. He made 93 appearances for the club, scoring 2 goals. At 31, he still has much more to offer, and there will be a plethora of top European clubs vying for his signature, if a move to Saudi Arabia doesn't tempt the Lille-born man. Johnny Evans moved back to United shocked English football, after the veteran was released by Leicester City at the end of the 2022-2023 season. The Belfast-born man spent the first part of his career at Old Trafford, winning 3 Premier League titles, 2 League Cups and the Champions League during 198 first-team appearances. Despite the doubt around his return, Evans has been solid during his one-year stay. A product of the United Academy, Evans' second stint saw the Northern Ireland defender become a regular in the team. A contract extension for the 36-year-old seems unlikely at this point. Anthony Martial, the French forward, burst onto the scene after signing for the Red Devils for £36 million in 2015. Hopes were incredibly high for the young man at the time, bagging a fantastic goal against Liverpool on debut to secure a 3-0 victory for United on the day. Martial never reached his potential though. At the time of his signing, he was the most expensive teenager ever, and was touted to reach the very top. A loan out to Sevilla in 2022 at the age of 26 summed up how the former teen sensation's career fizzled out. Specialist transfer journalist Fabrizio Romano has reported that Martial will be leaving United this summer after a 9-year spell. At just 28, Martial has plenty more to offer, but maybe not at the very top leave. Sofiane Amrabat, a star at the 2022 World Cup for Morocco, Amrabat signed for United from Fiorentina on a 1-year loan deal. However, he never made the impact that was expected, playing less than 800 minutes this season. The 27-year-old is set to return to his parent club at the end of the season. The Dutch-born midfielder was on £31,000 a week at Old Trafford, so he'll free up the wage bill a bit for a new player to come into the middle of the park. Tom Heaton, former Burnley and Aston Villa keeper Tom Heaton will likely be heading out of the exit door this summer. A product of the United Academy, Heaton rejoined his boyhood club as a free agent in 2021 as a third-choice keeper. At 38 years old, Heaton will no doubt have another year or so left in him between the sticks, or he might even decide to call it a day altogether. His experience at the top level might come in handy for another team. At Burnley, he racked up 200 appearances for the Clarets across all competitions between 2013 and 2019, keeping 65 clean sheets and conceding 225 goals. Chelsea have dealt a blow to Man United to sign Ronald Araujo from Barcelona, giving his move to Stamford Bridge the green light, according to reports. The Blues and Red Devils are looking for a new central defender in the summer transfer window. Both teams have scored 121 goals in the Premier League this season. Chelsea sacked Mauricio Pochettino earlier this week as they look to change course, and now it looks like Man United have done the same, with The Guardian reporting that Ten Hag will be sacked after Saturday's FA Cup final. Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS are moving forward with plans for next season. Omar Berrada will be the new CEO in the summer, and Jason Wilcox will be the technical director. Last week they were rumoured to have offered Bruno Fernandes, who has made it clear he wants to stay at Man United, money to convince Barcelona to sell for Barcelona centre-back Araujo. But now Chelsea can beat Man United to Uruguay. It has been reported in Spain that Barcelona president Joan Laporta and sporting director Deco have given Araujo the green light to join Chelsea. Barcelona are ready to accept the sale of a €100 million player, with Araujo one player on the exit after a disappointing season at the Camp Nou. The Catalan giants have to get rid of players who don't fit their future plans to reduce the team's wages, and Araujo is in no position to be a big selling point for the club. And now Barcelona have received an offer of almost £100 million, £85 million, from Chelsea, in what would be the biggest ever deal for the defender, which would solve a large part of the club's financial problems within a few weeks. Barcelona announced earlier on Friday that Xavi will not continue as coach next season. The news comes just a month after the Spaniard reversed his decision to retire at the end of the season. FC Barcelona would like to thank Xavi for his training and his wonderful career as a player and team manager, and wish him all the best in the world.